Hi students, good afternoon. Welcome back to this video. Yes, there is a positive quote. Listen to this. The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. Of course, no one can heal from you without your consent. We all have certain experience. From the experience we are learning, and we are learning by doing. But here it is mentioned, other than this, we should acquire knowledge from wherever we can achieve. Increase the depth of knowledge day by day. It will be very useful for us. Okay students, in the last session we have studied about photosynthesis. We have mentioned just about photosynthesis. There you understood what are the requirements of the process photosynthesis. Actually, they are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, they are carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll and sunlight. In the presence of sunlight, by using carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll, plant prepare food. That process is known as photosynthesis. So in this session, we are going to study a little bit more detail about the process photosynthesis. Then what about the chemistry of this photosynthesis? What all things are taking place during photosynthesis? Here there is a correct division of labor. That is, it is mainly divided into light phase and dark phase. As you all know, the process photosynthesis taking place in chloroplast. Chloroplast, because the pigment chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast. Then, don't you remember the structure of chloroplast? Yes, the fluid portion of the chloroplast is known as stroma, and inside the stroma there are certain cavities. So these cavities are known as grana. Okay, so there is a correct division of labor. That duty is divided into grana as well as to the stroma. These two portions are doing that duty. Yes, light phase, I have told already. The process is divided into two important reactions. Actually, light reaction and dark reaction, or it is otherwise known as light phase or dark phase. The light phase is taking place in this grana, and dark portion, this portion is known as the stroma, fluid portion. Stroma, and here it is grana. So the diagram, how to draw the structure of the chloroplast and what are the different parts of the chloroplast, all these things you already studied. Then the requirements are actually, one is carbon dioxide. How do plants get this carbon dioxide? Yes, plants get carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. There is no any doubt at all. Then how does this carbon dioxide reach to the plant body? Carbon dioxide is absorbed by the minute pores which are present in the leaves, especially in the leaves. Stem also possesses. Actually, what are these minute pores called? These minute pores are known as stomata. So, stomata are the minute pores. Through the stomata, gaseous exchange takes place. Then one more process, transpiration is also taking place through the stomata. Here, carbon dioxide reaches to the plant body from the atmosphere through the stomata. So one requirement is ready. Then second one is water. How water reaches to the plant body? Water is absorbed by the root hairs. From the root hairs, it reaches to the cortical cells of the root. From there, xylem carries to all parts of the plant body. So, it is also done by the plants. The next one is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is already present in the cell organelle named as chloroplast. Then next one is the sunlight. Sunlight is the ultimate source of energy. So here in the presence of sunlight, by using carbon dioxide in water and chlorophyll, plants prepare food. Yes. Then we can see one by one, means what do you mean by light phase and what do you mean by dark phase. So from the word you can understand light phase means light is used. It is taking place in the presence of light. Then it takes place in the grana part of the chloroplast. Then next, it is an important process which is taking place during light reaction. Here water splits. This water, do you know the molecular formula? Actually that is H2O. Here both hydrogen and oxygen is present in the water. So breakdown of water takes place during light reaction. Actually there is a term used for that process that is known as photolysis of water. So here lysis means breakdown, photo means light. In the presence of light, water broken down into oxygen and hydrogen. Next, we should know what happened to this oxygen. See, you can see here, oxygen is released. What happened to this hydrogen? Hydrogen reaches to stroma. So, hydrogen goes to the stroma. So, during light reaction, photolysis of water takes place, or simply you can say water splits into oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen is released to the atmosphere and hydrogen reaches to the stroma of the chloroplast. Here there is an interesting thing. You can see here oxygen is released to the atmosphere. Yes, that oxygen is used for respiration. Yes, both plants and animals use oxygen for respiration. What about carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is taken by plants for photosynthesis only. Okay, so carbon dioxide fixation is taking place in the atmosphere by plants, so that we should protect plants, then only we will get oxygen to respire. Then we have to plant more trees. Next, what is the main event? The third process or the third important event taking place during light phase or light reaction is light energy is converted into chemical energy and stored in the ATP. Yes, here I should explain very clearly. So listen children. Light energy, the energy which is present in the sun is in the form means light. That should be converted because we are living organism. Plants are also living organism. So that light energy is converted into chemical energy and stored in the ATP. So here you should know, or you should be very thorough about what is ATP. ATP is nothing but adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate is the energy currency. Adenosine triphosphate is known as the energy currency, which means they are able to store energy. ATP is the synthesized energy is stored in the ATP. The stored form of energy is chemical energy. Then how does this ATP gives energy for various metabolism of plants as well as animals? See, this ATP, when it is split into ADP plus inorganic phosphate, that liberate energy. That energy is utilized during dark reaction. So here, what is this abbreviated form ADP? Here, in the case of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, tri. The T stands for tri. So here, ADP, adenosine diphosphate. When this ATP converted into ADP and inorganic phosphate, energy is released. That energy is used for various metabolic activities which are taking place among living organisms. So, when we summarize the process of light reaction or light phase, yes, tell me, it takes place in the grana. Yes, the next light is used for this reaction, and the next one, yes, water splits and oxygen is released and hydrogen reaches to the stroma. That process is known as photolysis of water, and the energy is converted into chemical energy and that stored in the ATP. So that's all about light phase or light reaction. I think it is very clear to you. Then only we can move to dark phase. Yes, try to remind what all things are happening in light phase. Okay students. Then next, dark phase. As we said, there is a correct division of labor. Grana done its duty very well. Then what about the stroma? Dark phase is taking place in the stroma. Actually, that is the fluid part which is found in the chloroplast. Then what is the duty of the stroma, especially for this process? Yes, here light is not used, since we can see that is dark phase, but it doesn't mean it takes place at night or in the dark time only. Actually, that process does not require the light. Indirectly, there depends upon this light reaction, or indirectly there depends upon sunlight. After studying the entire process, you will be able to understand why. Okay, so listen. Light is not used, but the energy is in ATP, energy which is present in the ATP, used to combine hydrogen and carbon dioxide in order to synthesize glucose. The formula of glucose is C6H12O6. This is the ultimate aim of the process photosynthesis, to synthesize glucose that we have taught, that is food. The food is prepared by plants so that plants are known as producers. As you all know, we are consumers. We are depending upon plants for our food. Only plants can prepare food, which means which one organism possesses chlorophyll can fix the atmospheric carbon dioxide and to produce food. So this is actually dark reaction. So tell me, what are the important events which are taking place during dark phase? First one is, it is taking place in the stroma of the chloroplast. Light is not required, and the energy which is present in the ATP is utilized to combine hydrogen and carbon dioxide in order to synthesize glucose or food. That is known as dark reaction. So you could see the correct division of labor of the two parts, namely grana and stroma. Yes, we can summarize what is photosynthesis. Listen, students. There is an equation. See, students, the requirements are carbon dioxide plus water. Then what is synthesized? Glucose is synthesized plus what is liberated to the atmosphere? That is oxygen. Then carbon dioxide and water. Chlorophyll is present in the atmosphere. So we can write chlorophyll. Then it is taking place in the presence of sunlight. Sunlight is the ultimate source of energy. So combine carbon dioxide combined with water by using chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight. Glucose is synthesized. During that process, oxygen is liberated. That oxygen is used by organisms for respiration. Both the plants and animals use oxygen for respiration. This is very important. You should remember always. It will be useful for your higher studies also. Yes, carbon dioxide are taken by plants for the process photosynthesis. Usually, your students are making mistakes while asking which gas plants use for respiration. They will say suddenly that is carbon dioxide, because everyone heard about carbon dioxide fixation is done by plants, that's why. So please don't misunderstand. For respiration, all organisms utilize oxygen, and carbon dioxide used by plants only for photosynthesis. Okay. Then here when we use the chemical formula, we will get 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. This is the correct equation. But based on your syllabus, you don't want to study this equation, but you should know what is this. See, here we should complete these two terms also. Sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, that's all about the photosynthesis. Then next, what about the prepared glucose? What happened to this glucose? See, plants, since this glucose is highly soluble in water, the transportation of glucose is very difficult through the plants. So what all changes are taking place in this glucose, that we are going to study. You all know there are various kinds of nutrients present in our food, and that nutrients is necessary for the growth of our body. Yes, actually, if it is in the correct proportion, that is known as balanced diet. So glucose is highly soluble in water. It is converted, since it is highly soluble in water, it is converted into starch and stored in the leaf. From the leaf, the starch is utilized for various purposes by plants. Means from this, energy is utilized by plants for various activities or metabolic activities, we can say. Then the starch is converted to sucrose. Next, the sucrose. In some plants, the sucrose is found in the same form. Can you give an example? Yes, that is sugarcane. Sugarcane is the plant from which cane sugar is prepared. Then sucrose undergoes various metabolic activities metabolic activities, and it is converted into, see here it is again starch, then this is protein, then here we can write fat, and this is fructose. Then you should give some examples of plants. They store the food in these forms. Yes, protein, everybody knows this particular nutrient is necessary for the growth of our body. Then starch gives us energy. Then what about the fat? Yes, that also gives us energy. Then what about the fructose? It's a form of glucose, or it is a form of carbohydrate, so that it also gives us energy. So we can see the starch is one example. We can write here tuber. Tuber means, for that potato is an example. Potato. Then what about the protein? Protein is found in legumes. So what do you mean by legumes? Leguminosae, one family. Each plant are coming under various families. So Leguminosae, Papilionaceae, subfamily of the Papilionaceae. So the plants coming under this family are known as legumes. Various examples are there, such as black gram, green gram, Bengal gram, horse gram, etc. Then they store the food or the prepared glucose in the form of protein. Then fat, some of the plants store the food, the prepared food, glucose in the form of fat. Example, oil seeds. Oil seeds. Then fructose. Yes, fruits. Stored form of the food in fruits is fructose. So glucose is the food during photosynthesis, but this food is converted to various forms in order to store in different parts of the plant body. There is an important question. Why this glucose is converted to various form? Because it is highly soluble in water. I think it is very, very clear to you all. So that's all about today's class. Thank you for watching this video.